switch, putting the K in magic. I'm Joanna DeVoe, and you're watching another episode of Every Which Way. This time featuring my friend Killam, aka Sweet Cat Magic. And you might remember an interview that I did with Cat earlier when Every Which Way was still kind of new, but I wanted to have her back on the show to talk about a new project that she just created called The Sweet Old Lady Down the Street. And I'm not going to tell you what that is right now because we actually talk about it through the entire length of the interview. Kat has so much joy and enthusiasm for this project. You can actually feel it in the book, which is what this project is, but it's so much more than a book. And you can feel it when she's talking to me. She's just going to come pouring out at you through the camera. So sit down, open your heart, and get ready to receive a whole lot of bliss, joy, happiness, and magic via my friend Kat. Enjoy! Hello, Mrs. Claus! Welcome to Every Which Way!
Excuse me, slight correction, not Mrs. Claus. It's the sweet old lady wannabe.
Oh, the sweet old lady.
Okay, wannabe, that's right. We just seem to dress alike at Christmas time.
Oh, very good, very good. And we are talking about this, the sweet old lady down the street.
Down the street.
Yes, she's the sweet old lady down the street.
Down the street.
Down the street. There is a song that goes with this. We will talk about that later for those of you wondering what in the world we are talking about. And this is my friend Kat. Sweet Cat Magic.
I don't know where to wave. there, you. There, am I looking at you?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Okay.
Sweet Cat Magic. You might know her from YouTube. I talked to her last year. Was that interview last year that we did?
Last June.
Last June. Well, this one we have better sound going. There's no storm happening this time, so we're going to get to hear you.
It was a once-in-a-lifetime storm, and it just happened on our interview.
I'm excited to talk to you this time because you just published this book, The Sweet Old Lady Down the Street, and I just went on Amazon and gave it my review, by the way. It is...
Did?
Yeah, it is the book that, I think I said something about it, finally laying to rest the old, tired stereotype of the scary neighborhood witch. And it's so much fun. It's you. Actually, the illustration looks like you in like 15 to 20 years. She looks older than you to me, but I can see the inspiration there.
Thank you. Yeah. I love her pictures.
Yeah, who illustrated this for you?
Richard Svensson. He's from Sweden. I sent the description of the sweet old lady to several illustrators, and same description just to compare to see how they would interpret her. And as soon as he sent back his, I love her. And so he and I have decided to work together on several books. So that's her meditating. She prays and meditates. It puts her in a peaceful state.
Yes. Let's see, what does this say? She gets up early before the crack of dawn and sits outside on the backyard lawn. She likes to pray and meditate. It puts her in a peaceful state. That's one of my favorites, and obviously, you actually sent me this card, which is my favorite.
The magical room. She plays with funny-looking cards and even consults the stars. It's a little witchy side there. Yeah, she has a magical room filled with crystals and gems, phenomenal books and feather pens.
What inspired you to do this?
Well, I was babysitting my twin granddaughters. Remember, I became a grandmother for the first time last November, and I set for them for the first 5 months. And so in desperation of trying to entertain them, even at 5 months old, you're trying to entertain. And so I was playing all the YouTube videos I could find and all the nursery rhymes I could find. And this old man, he played one, was wonderful, and I kept doing that one. I go, okay, let me do an old lady one. Her cupboard was bare. Oh, no. She lived in a shoe. Oh, no. She threw children in the ovens. Oh, no. And then, the best one. there was an old woman who swallowed a fly. Why she swallowed a fly, no one knows why she swallowed a fly. And I go, oh, gee.
I guess she'll die.
Yeah. So I thought, there's got to be a song about a sweet old lady. There just has to be. And so then I started making it up to the girls. I kept singing, there's a sweet old lady down the street. She's the kind of lady you should meet. Her face is full of wrinkles, and her eyes are full of twinkles. She's a sweet old lady down the street, down the street. And so from that, I go, gee, that would be a cute book. And then I thought, but then how do you go about writing a book? Because I don't know how to write a book and how to publish a book, and I don't even know Photoshop or anything. So then once I stopped babysitting them in June, I thought, I'm going to see about how to go about writing a book. And so I just started writing the poem. Every time I was driving, it would be come into my mind, and I'd have to, oh. So I started writing it all down, and I'd be sleeping, and I'd go, oh, this is what she would do. This is what she would do. So part of the book is fact, and part of it is fiction. Part of it, that's the fact, is because I started taking, because I think I live a magical life. Yeah. As far as the enchanted forest and making things, as far as the cat house and that. So I started taking ideas from my own life and then brought the fact, but then wanted to add what I wanted to be as I grew older. What kind of a woman did I want to be? So I wanted to have that as kind of a guideline for me. Mm-hmm. And so this is part of the fact. There is a sweet old lady down the street. Okay. She lives in a red and white gingerbread house in an enchanted forest with a gnome-looking spouse. And so that's very much, fact.
I got him.
Okay. That's very much fact, because I do have a gnome-looking spouse. And,
a very cute one.
Yeah. And the roof is the color of chocolate brown. It is the cutest house in all of the town. The moss makes a luxurious carpet of green, and with the tall trees, it's a magical scene. And so people have always said, oh, you do live in the cutest house in town. So I thought that was all nice to put in there.
Can we pause and tell people who don't know about your house before you go to the next thing? What?
Sure.
Or we can just get back to that if you're on a roll. I just want to make sure that is one of the most fun, exciting things about. I remember when I got to know you, like, oh my gosh, look where she lives.
However you want to do it, Joanna. Did you want to lead in?
We'll come back to that. We'll make them wait.
Oh, okay. Okay. The other thing that's fact is this one. And that's, she has a house just for cats, and special fluffy welcoming mats. Lots of these cats were abandoned or stray, who didn't have food or shelter for days. Some were scared and skinny and came from the dump. Now they have a home and are happy and plump. Oh, it's so much fun when she rings the chime and yells, it's kitty loving time. And the cats all run. It's so much fun. And that's true. I do have kitty loving time. And that's one of the book is dedicated to a woman who fell in love with my kitty loving time. So you'll see the dedication on it. And she came to the cat house about 13 years ago, and I did kitty loving time. And when she saw that, she just melted her heart, and she has been my supporter for the last 13 years, every season.
What is the cat house and what is kitty loving time?
Okay. The cat house is my nonprofit cat rescue and sanctuary. I'm making an assumption everybody knew that.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm trying to bring them up to speed.
Oh, okay. I do have a nonprofit cat rescue and sanctuary, and I've been rescuing cats from our local dump for the last 13 and a half years, fostering kitties from the Humane Society, and I probably have rescued over 500 cats, at least, because I don't count such things, but I have to do kind of a mandatory kind of like, okay, I think it's about 500. And so it's all a house that's all fenced, so that they can roam, and they have trees, and it's all outside, and they have a house, and they have several shelters, other things that they can just run in and out, and that. And I had this visitor that came and visited the cat house 14 years ago, and she fell in love with seeing what kitty loving time looked like when I yelled out kitty loving time, and cats came out of the house and down from trees and all around, and I either put out treats or catnip, or I groom them, or I just let them all just sit on me, and I have maybe I've had, I think the record number of ever being able to fit in my lap at one time is 8.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so kitty loving time is a fact from the book. Okay, there's another fact from the book that when she does, and this is where I thought of you, Joanna, on this one. She loves to eat healthy. You know that one? Yeah. So, okay. She eats healthy food and she loves to exercise. She knows that good health is the ultimate prize and too many treats will go to her thighs. Now that's also true. That's a fact. And then after her run, she'll take a short break and make herself a healthy green protein shake. So that was an ode to you, Joanna.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, so that's the facts. The fiction is just the sweetness of her. She's really into helping others, helping the poor, helping those that are hungry. Just her whole demeanor of how she is just taking sweet, S-W-E-E-T, to sweet with an extra E, sweet. And one of the things I like about this is, how did this come about? One night I was sleeping and I'm going, little kids, how are they going to relate to, do you want to be old? Great, Mom, I want to be a sweet old lady. Little kid, so I thought, no, they need to be sweeties. They want to be sweeties. And so one of the things is at the very end, I put in here that you don't have to be old to be sweet. Anyone can be sweet, and that's really neat. So if you ever wonder how to respond when you're in a stew, just ask yourself, what would the sweet old lady do? And you could become a sweetie too. And so that was to try to get the kids to kind of relate. And so I wanted them to be able to relate by asking themselves, what would the sweet old lady do? Because what I found is, as I got to know her, I wanted to be just like her. So I found myself through the day either saying, am I being a sweet old lady? Will I be the sweet old lady? If I'm responding this way, how would she respond? And so a lot of these rhymes would come into my head, like, she believes in letting positive energy flow. Okay, I need to do that. I need to let that positive energy flow. And so I started asking myself, what would the sweet old lady do in this kind of circumstance? And I found that when I did that, I would respond differently. I would soften, and it was like all of a sudden I just became who she was for a moment, and that was so powerful. Mm-hmm. As far as like having a separate character, then all of a sudden going, just by thinking how would she respond, it changed me, and so I added this little lavender bracelet that goes with the book when I can sell it direct.
Can you show us? Can you?
Huh? It says, what would the sweet old lady do?
Oh, very nice.
So also in the book, the page before that, it talks about she wears a purple bracelet with a very special charm. It reminds her, above all else, do no harm. And so also on the bracelet it says, do no harm. And so while I couldn't on Amazon sell the bracelets with it, I do have the links on there that, the Sweet Old Lady Facebook page and all that. Anybody who buys the book, who wants it, I will send them one of the bracelets. So you are an adult size. Okay? And all they have to do is, I have the book in Kindle version, and I have the book in print version. And all they have to do is go to the Sweet Old Lady, just email me, Sweet Old Lady with 3 E's, at gmail.com, and answer a couple questions that I'll ask them from the book, and then I'll mail them one of the wristbands.
Oh, how fun. You've thought of everything. There's a song. You have like there's sheet music in the back of the book, but if you get the Kindle edition, it links you. Do you mind if I just link to the YouTube video from my blog post so people can hear your song? Here we go. The sweet 3 E's, old lady down the street. There's the sheet music for those of you who can read sheet music. You can really feel the passion and the energy that you put into this and how excited you are about the finished product. We should all feel that way about things that we create. Oh, yeah.
Face is full of wrinkles and her eyes are full of twinkles. She's a sweet old lady down the street.
Okay.
We're going to lose the headset. What they don't
Okay.
know is the headset, she had this adorable look going on when we started the interview, but I couldn't hear her. So she kindly busted out the headset for you all so we could hear her better.
Yes, that was in American Sign Language. It was a wonderful fellow that I found that interpreted the song so that children could actually learn how to do it and do the signs so that they could sit in a circle. I'm doing reading circles with little children, and so that I can actually just do little bits of the book and then do the song and the signs for them so that they could have, this old man, this is going to be the sweet old lady song.
Oh, how fun. This would be such a beautiful Christmas present for anybody with kids. I also think it'd be great I like it for adults just because I like the way that it kind of messes with the stereotype. It's fun. Or for a sweet old lady. Just a way to see yourself through a new paradigm. Like you were saying, you want to live up to who the sweet old lady is. That's kind of reminds me of something I talk about called a pop pantheon, where you think about what would this person do, and just in having those thoughts you end up getting to embody that yourself, because it's really you. It's a part of you that you're pulling out, and I love that.
Yeah. Also, I had somebody that came by. I had a table that I was selling the books at last weekend, and she said, "Boy, there's a lot of people in the rest home that really need to have that book." And I thought, I'm going to drop this book off and say, it's never too late to be sweet.
Oh, yay. You should do a reading for them. They'd probably love it.
Oh, that's a very good idea, Joanna. The other thing I've done is I wanted to make an abridged version for younger children because there's a lot of verses in this version. And so I have another abridged version which only has 1 or 2 verses on it so that a child that's maybe 3 or 4 won't get bored with mom reading the whole long that. Because I've had a couple of people that have bought the book that had 2 and 3-year-olds, and the verses are too long. So there's an abridged version. There's Kindle versions, Kindle of the full, Kindle of the abridged, full version, and then the abridged version all in paperback. And also, I've finished my coloring and activity book.
Oh, gosh.
And so that's also available. And it's got all the pages that they can color.
Can you lift it up a little bit? We only see the top. There we go.
Okay. So they've got all the pages they can color. And then it's activities in the book, and they're very, very strong emphasis on pet responsibility and very strong emphasis on collars and tags and microchips, as you saw, because my belief is if every pet had a collar and tag with ID on it, there would never be another pet in any shelter because they would be returned. Okay?
Yeah.
And so that a lot of the activities have to do with pet responsibility and that. And one of the things at the end of the book is that if the children complete the book and an adult signs off on the book, they get a Sweetie certificate, and then they can tell me about it, and I will mail them a colored one suitable for framing for them, along with the wristband that says, "I'm a Sweetie."
Oh,
So
this is so much fun. And even on this book, in this index, you have a little glossary of terms. And then this is life-saving tips for your pets, a whole page of life-saving tips for animal lovers out there. And I know my audience we're all animal lovers. Everybody here loves the cats and the dogs and the furry critters and the feathered critters.
Well, I had wanted to write children's books 15 years ago that were pet concerned, because I did humane education classes, and I always wanted just to find a book that I could read to the kids when I was at schools, and there just weren't any that were responsible, what I thought by having collars and tags on the animals. And so I thought, if I ever write a book, it's going to be included in there. So the Sweet Old Lady was just a wonderful vehicle to also include that. And that was really an important aspect of it for me.
Well, you've created all these, I mean, almost this whole little world here and all these little extras and ways to participate in the story. Are you going to carry this on? Like, the Sweet Old Lady goes to town. The sweet
oh,
old
yes.
lady.
In fact, I'm already on the second book. He's already illustrating it.
Okay.
It's the Sweet Old Lady's new book of nursery rhymes.
Oh, fun.
And so that's that. I have several others. I have the Sweet Old Lady meets the Mean Old Lady. You know, and so
that's a good one.
That's going to be an interesting one. And then I also have some that I'm going to be telling of when she was a young girl, stories of her, so that's going to be more like a child's book, as meaning like pictures of the children, but it'll be her as a little girl and how she became the Sweet Old Lady.
Wow. Do you feel like you just you're starting like this whole other career now, or what does this feel like for you?
It does. It feels like that she's the vehicle for me to want to do so many, because I have so many books. I have about 10, 15 books in my head. And then she's the vehicle to get them out. You know, another one I have is, because I want to do like the Sweet Old Lady goes to Sunday school, like your little Sunday school, but sun, S-U-N.
Sunday.
You know, so this, yeah. So she's out, you know, in nature.
Oh, love that.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's all these aspects that she's the vehicle for me to be able to do. And then the other thing I want to do is have the Sweet Old Lady channel on YouTube. And as I said, I'm making my purple dress, and I've got the puffy sleeves. I'm also excited about that. And then I want to be able to have just where kids can come and talk about kindness and that. So there is going to be the Sweet Old Lady channel on YouTube. There is currently a Sweet Old Lady YouTube channel, but it just has the nursery rhyme, the book, and that kind of stuff. So if people want to subscribe to that, then they'll see it when I start posting videos on that as the Sweet Old Lady.
And it's youtube.com/sweet with 3 E's.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet Old Lady.
And it's really easy. All you have to do is Google and just put Sweet with 3 E's Old Lady, and all the YouTube stuff and everything comes up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
well,
that's the thing.
This was exciting. I don't know, just getting to see. I've known you for a little while now, so I've known you through the birth of this, or just the spark of the idea all the way through, and you got this out fast. It was like passion just drove this whole thing forward, and you're so full of energy for it, and excitement and enthusiasm. I'm sure that is going to be infectious to everyone who comes across your path, you know, during a reading or a booth that you're selling the book. How have other people responded to you in this book?
Oh, it's been really wonderful, because it's a book for grandmothers. The grandmothers are the ones that are just picking this up. And not only that, though, that I'll have either people say, oh, I want it for my niece. I want it for my nephew. I want it for, I had somebody that ordered 10 copies that they wanted to give it to everybody in their family. And so it's been very interesting. I had somebody yesterday I just showed it to, and it was just a single woman. And she goes, I want it for me. Because as an example for me how to be. So it's been very enthusiastically received. One of the things that's been interesting, because learning this whole, how do you get a book published and all that, that's kind of the easy part. It's how to get it out there is the harder part.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have it on Amazon, but it's going to sit in the little corner of the Amazon jungle, kind of undiscovered until you start being able to find the mechanisms to get it. And one of the things is that you have to get reviews, and so I asked somebody who's a top reviewer at Amazon, because they said not to really have your family ever review the book, okay? Because they call them shill reviews, meaning that, yeah. And so, so I thought very courageously, I went out and I wrote to one of the top reviewers on Amazon, and I said, would you mind, here's the book, I'll send you the Kindle version if you like, and just, all I want is just an honest review, And so she posted the review the other day, and I was like jumping up and down as as high as I could get. And anyway, but she ended with, I would give this book 10 stars if I could, and I recommend it highly for inspirational reading. So that was absolutely wonderful. And the part that I loved was that she said that my girls are 7 and 9 and have been enchanted by this story. In fact, I ordered a hard copy. So that was just like, that was like, because I was kind of like in my little bubble with only my friends and family and you that have seen the book, and so you never know how it would be received from somebody who's a reviewer or somebody that has children that age. Yeah. And so that was really
I hope people watching this, they love magic, and this is a lot to do with magic. There are tarot cards in this book, and crystals, I believe, and here she is at a cauldron. This is something definitely for the Every Which Way audience, and I urge you all to buy a copy of this book for yourself or the kids in your life, but after you do, go leave Kat a review so we can support our community. And the reviews over at Amazon are really important. That determines what you see when you put something into their search engine there. So if you buy the book and you enjoy it.
And if you like it, and you can give an honest review. Only honest reviews.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I don't think anybody's going to be too hard on it.
Oh, okay. Also, just for the pagan community, there's terms like blessed be. Mm-hmm. Did you see that? And, that kind of stuff, and do no harm. And, I was really it took me a little while because I have a lot of family and friends who are very frightened of tarot cards, and just the image of the tarot card scares them. Mm-hmm. And so I had to go around and around about whether I was to include that in there, and I thought, no, I need to include that because we have to break through that stereotype. If we don't have a sweet old lady who shows love and kindness and all this kind of stuff, and that she can also use tarot cards and still be sweet and loving and kind, I needed that as an educational tool. Yeah. And so when I first showed that to one person that was very dear friend of mine who has a very fundamentalistic belief, and I could see her just crumble when she went, oh no, oh, you have that, like she wanted to order a book and all that kind of stuff, and now she couldn't because that had that. And I had to explain to her that I felt like I needed to use that as an educational tool.
Here, see her in her magical room with her candles and her cards. Yeah, that's why I included that in my review. I think that's important that you put those images out. It's so friendly. It's such a sweet book. Literally. I mean, well, maybe not literally. You can't really eat it, but that might, you never know. Knowing you will find a way to come up with the sweet old lady candy or something.
We can have a candy bar with this picture on it.
Yes.
This is the one with the tasty treats. She loves special, dishes and all that kind of stuff.
So cute. Oh, you said you're opening an Etsy store also, where people can buy cards. This is a little greeting card that Kat sent me, but she's going to do others like this that you guys can go and buy too. And it says "Blessed Be" inside. Very cute.
I have several of them. I have one that's celebrate the season.
There you are with the cats.
One is. Kick up your heels. It's time to kick up your heels and dance with your cat.
You have to put it center or we won't get to see it. There we go.
Okay. It's time to kick up your heels and dance with your cat. Happy birthday.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Well, can you give us a tip, since we are thoroughly convinced to go out and buy the book and leave an excellent review? Could you leave us one kick-ass tip for people who want to do what you're doing and publish their own book or create a project like this? Where would you recommend that they start?
Okay, the tools. Okay, first of all, I was going to say avoid naysayers. Anybody that says you can't. Okay, those are the first ones. You don't even share that. You keep it until you keep that little bud so precious in that until it's partially already materialized. Okay, so that nobody can burst that, But one of the things, I had no skills. I did not know Photoshop. I did not know how to go about publishing or doing anything. So I ended up, this is a really crucial part, is Adobe Cloud, Creative Cloud, is the new Adobe system that's come out now, and I could get that by a monthly subscription and got access to InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator, and everything. Because before, you'd have to go out and buy the whole program, which was like $900 or something for each one. So I got that, but then I didn't know how to use it. So I subscribed to Lynda, Lynda. .com, and they have all the teaching videos. So then I would spend all the time teaching, learning how to do that, because each of the pages he did the beautiful illustrations, but I wanted to have an illustration under the text because I thought it was just too much, just the text. So I did the illustrations over on the top side with the text, and then So I didn't draw them, but I, had to learn how to color them and make them the way I wanted. So Adobe Creative Cloud and then lynda.com. Those were incredible tools. Without those, it's impossible to do it, I think.
Nice.
At least it would have been for me, because just trying to learn InDesign in order to get the book formatted so that you could upload it and send it to be published, that takes a lot of time. And it was also difficult wanting to do it as a children's book, not like just a regular black and white text, book that you would just paperback. It was very hard to try to get it all formatted with bleeds and all this kind of stuff. So it was a good learning curve challenge. Now the next ones will be easy.
Nice. So there, we have some practical tips and a spiritual tip. Don't listen to the naysayers. Put your energy into it. Bring it into the material world before you let other people take a peek.
It's the same magical principle that always says, don't talk about it. Just, so it was a while. I think when I sent you the very first one, I'd already had the whole gem already out with illustrations. Remember when I sent you the first one? Mm-hmm. Just to give you an idea that, okay, now I've birthed it. Now all I have to do is kind of dress it.
Yeah. It was amazing. It was so cute from the very beginning. Definitely a labor of love, and I hesitate to use the word labor because you seem to have created this out of pure joy.
It has been. It has been one of the most fun times of my life, which is just like, reinventing yourself. It's like every decade I have reinvented and done something totally different, and it's just, I just love it.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming back on here and sharing your beautiful self with us and your awesome new project. I'm totally honored to be your friend and super pleased.
You were the one. You were the one, Joanna, and I always give you credit for that. You were the one that brought me out. I hadn't worn earrings or anything like that, and here's my cat earrings.
Oh,
I hadn't worn earrings for years, and then I saw you on YouTube when I was just doing a search on the tarot, and you're the one that sparked me. Remember I told you that?
It wasn't hard. You had so much energy and love to give out. I mean, it didn't take much, and you were there and giving, so much to all of us who watched your videos, so that was awesome. And this is great, too. Everybody, get it. The sweet old lady down the street. Down the street.
Down the street. And now you know why I haven't been posting on Sweet Cat Magic.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're gonna subscribe to youtube.com/sweetoldlady. Much love.
Okay. Much love to you.
Peace.
Bye-bye.